YouTube world, what's going on? Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling great. Let's get it in. I want to touch on. I want to touch on Inside Out. This is a kids Disney movie, you know, and they like to put codes and messages in these movies and put it as entertainment. You know what I mean? And yeah. So let's get it in. When you're looking at these characters, right? When you're looking at these characters, right? These characters these characters are actual real entities. What I mean by that? For example, let me give you an example. Anger is an entity within itself. Anger by itself is an energy, meaning that it's angry constantly, like 24 hours. Like that's its state. Its state is angry. That's its, that's its natural state. Its natural state is angry. Same thing with sadness. Sadness is an energy. That's its natural state. You got entity that is constantly sad. I know it sounds crazy, but that's just their state. And human beings are combined with all of the entity in one. That's what makes us so special. The fact that we have all these entity within us. Some of us, for example, some of us lack compassion. Compassion is an energy. Some of us lack compassion. This is why somebody can kill somebody and not feel remorse or not feel anything. Especially if that person is innocent. If that person is innocent, you kill an innocent person, you don't feel nothing, you lack compassion. That means they don't have that energy within them. No matter what they do, they don't feel nothing. You know what I mean? Fear is an entity. Fear is an entity. Fear, right? Fear lowers your energy. This is why in society is mostly fear-based world. We live in a fear-based society. If you don't go to work, you're gonna be homeless. If you break the law, if you don't follow the rules and the law, you're gonna go to jail. If you don't accept Jesus as your savior, you're gonna go to hell. So they rule through fear. Fear is an entity that they use against you. It's already inside you. But you gotta override that shit. Envy is a spirit. These are live spirit, ladies and gentlemen. When I say they're live spirit, that's their perpetual state. Like I said, envy. Envy is, it's a spirit. That's its perpetual state. It's always gonna be envy because that's its nature. And again, human beings are comprised with all of these entities in one. Joy, happiness, anger, sad, depression, all of these are entity comprised in one. This is what makes us special. You know what I mean? Some other alien creatures, for example, you might have one alien creature that's violent. That's its state. Its natural state is violence. All it want to do is destroy things. It doesn't have peace. It doesn't understand joy. It doesn't understand happiness. It doesn't understand any of that. All it understand is war and destruction because that's its natural state. It doesn't understand that. Going back to the humans, we have anger, we have joy, we have all of that. Again, that's what makes us so special. That's why other alien creatures looking at us like, damn, these people, these creatures pretty much have everybody, pretty much have the mixture of everybody. You know what I mean? Hopefully it don't sound confusing to y'all, but yeah. This is why it's extremely important. I know some people can't control how they die, but but I'm gonna say it anyway. It is important not to fear death. It is important not to fear dying, because again, fear lowers your vibration. And if you fear while you die, you might end up in a lower realm. Fear, anxiety, envy, these are lower realms. When you die and you have that in you, you might go in a lower realm. This is why it's important to try to detach from the world. Don't be, angry all the time. I'm not saying not to be angry, because some people, some people might try you and shit, and you might have to handle that. You might be angry and shit like that. I'm not saying not to get angry. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good. There's righteous anger, and there's anger that can lead you to prison and dumb shit like that. You just gotta know when to be angry and when not to be angry. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. I think I'm gonna cut it here, man. I think you guys get the gist. But anyways, y'all be good. Y'all still wear, and I'm out.